We're talking about Mr. Elon Musk, the co-president of the United States.
Oh, God, don't call him that.
That we didn't vote for. Whee!
We don't vote for any of the president's advisors.
That is true. That's absolutely true. I will 100% agree with you on that. Every minute it changes at the DOGE with Elon and his 19-year-old minions from the tech world. Shout out to 404 Media, the independent tech media news organization that I think we mentioned a couple episodes ago about good resources. They did a really good article and podcast on Elon and did like a 5-minute introduction to this particular episode because they said, we don't want to talk about politics, but we have to talk about politics because this administration has become the most technified administration as, you know, in the history of administrations, I guess. They had some leaked conversations. They said that there were so many leaks in the first 2 weeks, which included your girl, Susie Wiles, saying that they couldn't control Musk. And that it came out, you know, as we heard that Trump was like, listen, I'm the president. He didn't say it this way, but to something like this, like everything has to be run by me. If it's not, you know, we'll shut it down. But that the leaks have been, well, he's not really paying attention. That Trump's not paying attention. It doesn't really matter to him. I mean, I'm putting words in the mouth. But like, I learned about muzzle velocity too this week.
I have no
muzzle
idea what that
velocity. I heard it. Steve Bannon was an interview with Steve Bannon.
You listened to an interview with Steve Bannon?
I did.
My God, I don't even know who you are anymore.
And he was
but
talking
I love you more.
He was talking about the strategy, that this is an intentional strategy to put, you know, everyone off their game. We talked about flooding the zone.
Yeah.
And then this other term is called muzzle velocity, that you just throw everything, like as much spaghetti at the wall as possible. And that the media, because he's very insulting of the media, saying that they're all dumb and lazy. Those are his words, not mine.
Steve Bannon did?
Steve Bannon did in this particular interview, which he's probably said it more than once. And that, you know, they can't focus on anything more than one thing. And then if we are talking about, if we're going off of the other conversations we had about media, hopefully there's these new media organizations that are really trying to bring integrity back and not be about entertainment. But if it is, let's say there's this entertainment focus in some of or all of these mainstream news agencies, that they're just like following the red dot and they can't. You remember what you said to me in the last episode about you think that liberals are just like thinking, oh, that Trump is like, ooh, how else can we fuck you? And that's how I'm thinking too. I mean, I am.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, they're like, hey, like they're sitting in the background going, look at these fools. Everybody's freaking out. And while we're all trying to follow the 1,000 things, they're getting shit done. I'm going to let you speak, I promise. This morning on the news that the judge said you have to freeze access to the Treasury. Well, they've already had, I think it started last Saturday. They've already had 7 days. They've already had access. And I think that's also in the research I've done for this particular topic, that Musk and Trump, they're litigious and they work the legal system. And they know that the legal system can be very slow. So they get away with whatever they can get away with until it's shut down by the courts.
Oh my God, that is a lot. I like, where do I start?
I know. Sorry. Just like, I just muzzle velocity'd you.
See? And now I can't even respond because there was something I was going to...
Me and Steve Bannon are like this now.
My God, he's been such a good teacher for you. And I love that.
You know?
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Isn't that one of the great things that I think the White House spokesperson, your sweet little 27-year-old, has done, is that they're allowing a seat to not just be the traditional mainstream media, that now you can apply. They're taking people who are influencers or bloggers or whatever to actually have a seat at the table as well, to be able to ask questions that are outside of the mainstream. Do you know about this?
I don't.
It was something that she introduced the very first day that she was in there, and there was an application.
She, meaning
the White House spokesperson.
That person. What's her title?
The communications director. No,
yes.
She's not the communications director. She's the.
Bear
White
with
House,
us, everyone.
God, she's the White House spokesperson.
She speaks for the White House, but she's not the Speaker of the House. Okay,
we haven't even been drinking either.
I know, if you guys are still with us, God. They call it the White House press secretary.
Press secretary. God. And what's her name?
Her name is Caroline Leavitt.
But it's with a K, isn't it?
It's Caroline with a K. Listen, these are all very pretty women. But, I just looked up Stephanie Holmes, who is the HR for DOGE. And they all look like Barbie dolls. Maybe I should edit this out, but I'm a little confused by everyone looks like a beauty pageant contestant.
That's always kind of been a conservative view of liberals, like liberal women. Oh, God. That liberal women are these mean.
What?
Ugly.
What?
Yes. And that conservative women have makeup on and are pretty and work out and
okay, hold on.
It's
time out. All the liberals that I know, I mean, listen,
are beautiful. I know.
No. But they live in New York, and they definitely work out. It's personal taste, ugly or not. And I can't believe I feel kind of shitty that I don't mean to talk badly about women. It was just truly I just looked up Caroline Leavitt's face. I looked up her face. I looked up her photo. And then this morning I looked up Stephanie Holmes to understand who she is. And they could be maybe mother-daughter, maybe sisters. I don't know what the age difference is.
This is going to be a great conversation for us to have when we have the Ozempic talk.
Oh, girl.
I think we could tie all of this together.
I agree. There's a lot,
whole nother conversation.
And beauty standards in general.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
I think. But that's interesting, because I'm guessing that you think that liberal women are hairy armpitted.
Don't wear bras, and they're greasy hair. And
greasy hair?
I don't know. I'm just making that up. I don't know. Yes. When you go to Whole Foods, those are liberal women.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. So you don't go to Whole Foods?
Actually, no, I do. But I can go without a bra and without makeup on, and I feel really good about myself.
Oh my God!
Hey girl. Yeah,
hey girl.
Hey, I'm liberal too. Yeah. Okay, so the reason we were talking about that, though, was this muzzle velocity. That they're getting shit done. And man, they really are.
No, but here's the thing. Because I've been listening to a lot of these interviews and podcasts that they are breaking shit up. They're tearing shit down. What I'm concerned about, Jolene, and I think it would be interesting to hear your view, is they don't really have a plan to what to build. They're breaking things apart. But what's next?
I think the system is so broken. Trump was not a conservative president in his first term, that he was doing tax cuts but increasing spending, and so that our national debt is 36, I think now.
Trillion?
Gazillion? No, gazillion. It's a gazillion.
Gazillion, yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I think that we are at a point in time where we have to go, we need to disrupt the system, and we need a radical change. And my answer to that would be, who is more of a disruptor than Elon Musk? He started Tesla. He started PayPal. He started the SpaceX. He has done more to change so many industries in America and in the world.
He is treating the U.S. government as though it's a tech company, is where my concern is. He actually used an email. This is not new at this point, called Fork in the Road. And it was an email that he sent to all of the federal employees, resigned by February 6th. It was the exact same verbiage that he used for Twitter when he bought Twitter. I agree with you that there are a lot of systems in the government need a huge overhaul. But where I get very concerned is that his approach is, and I was listening to, again, there's a Wired article and then this 404 media article about the Silicon Valley tech bro culture. And it's all about destruction, what they can get away with. And there's where I get concerned, and you can call me a liberal, you can call me whatever you want to call me. But I will
call you my friend.
Okay, great. Thanks, honey. There is seems to be zero regard for the fact that there are human beings on the other side. Like, you want to revamp USAID, you want to, look at how we spend, but when you're saying you got to come home, like these are families that have given their life service to the government. They are not partisan. And, because they're freezing access to the Treasury, there's no regard for the law. They're approaching it like a tech business, and it's brutal and cutthroat. And that's not how this government was formed. There were so many checks and balances to make sure that human beings were held accountable. And where it gets scary to me, and to, I think, a lot of people, whether you're liberal or conservative, I think there's been a lot of conservative voices. He is an AI guy. You're taking it even farther removed from human beings. I am 100% with you, girl, that there is overspending,
waste, fraud,
wasteful,
and abuse.
Absolutely. And that's from every administration. Every administration. And the government is so huge, stuff I'm sure gets through the cracks, or there are creepy shysters. They are liberal and Democrat. I don't care who you are. There are people that are, constantly getting away with shit. And yes, like you mentioned the word a couple episodes, like cutting the fat is what you called DOGE. You were very excited about it. Yeah. The people that are on his team, a lot of them are kids, fine. They have good brains, but they don't understand how government works, security clearances. There was one of the guys on this 404 piece. He said that when he first got out of college, he lived in D.C. and he worked in the government. And he said when you get hired right out of college, that there are all these levels. And so, yes, you might be 22 years old and work in the government, but you're like an intern getting coffee, you don't have access to the Treasury Department. So it's things like that, like this is where I kind of think we could find some common ground.
Oh, I completely agree with you.
And I don't think, from what I'm seeing from the reaction from the left and the right, is everyone's like, whoa. Let's talk about it.
Yes, I completely agree with you. And so, yes, I think that's going to be the as far as Elon Musk goes, that's the thing that we're going to agree on here. We've just never seen anything like this. If it's successful, and there's a few bumps in the road, we'll look at this a year or 4 years from now and go, what a bold move. And that's exactly what we needed to do to disrupt. I keep using disruptor because I think that's a term that I use in a CPG industry.
What's a CPG?
Consumer packaged goods.
Okay.
So Dibble Dough is trying to disrupt the candy bar market. Like it's not, it's the small emerging brand. I'm not trying to give a plug here.
You mean for your delicious frozen treats that you can get at any supermarket or convenience store? Plug it, girl.
But like Poppy or Olipop was in the soda industry, like you're a disruptor, like you're something that's completely
different,
different. Yes. And so you're new and emerging. And so I feel like what's happening here is that Elon Musk has been a disruptor in so many, the car industry and the financial industry and the space race industry.
I heard this, and this of course is incredibly liberal, but get ready, okay? I listened to the Ezra Klein show on the New York Times app.
Okay.
And he's a great journalist. and he had on Kara Swisher, and she is a tech, basically she does tech reporting, and she has her own podcast.
Okay, wait, can I take a time out? You're so good about remembering names, and we're old, so the fact that you can recall names like that is super impressive. So go on.
Kara Swisher was hilarious, and she knows all the tech bras, and she's a gay woman with 4 children. Tech bros, the tech bros of Silicon Valley.
I thought you said tech bra, and I'm like, what?
Oh, like bra.
Do I need one of those in
yes, you do.
Menopause?
Yes. It'll tickle your fancy. She knows him very, very well. She said, first of all, Silicon Valley has never been liberal. We put that liberal moniker on Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley cares about money. That's what they care about. They care about their shareholders. They care about the bottom line. All those guys, that's what they care about. Mm-hmm. And she was describing the culture that they're all, she used the word beta, that they're all a bunch of beta guys. And then Elon comes in and he's like hyper masculine, and that he creates this perception of like strength and bravado, similar to Trump. And that these guys they're like, oh my gosh, we can act like that.
Here's our alpha male.
You're right. And so here is our leader, and the guys that he hires like worship him, laugh at his dumb jokes, even when they're not funny. Like there's this sort of like bow to the king kind of thing. And as Kara described it, she's like, it's small dick energy, which we've talked about before. She's like, it's just small dick energy. She's like, he's filling this hole that he got in childhood, is basically what she said. She said he is insecure. He's got an enormous ego. And there was this one conference, and I wish I'd written it down again. Okay, here, I can't remember, that Biden didn't invite Musk to. It was in the last couple of years. And it was a game changer for Musk, because they were looking at, in this interview, Musk used to be very liberal, and he shifted. And it was around that moment that Biden didn't invite Musk. He was pissed and hurt. He wasn't invited to the party, and he lashes out, and he's, as she put it, she's like, he's a little boy. And all these guys are. And they're just sort of, I mean, don't you feel that way? The way these politicians are, they're like, don't hurt me.
Yes. But again, if we're trying to not be judgmental with our neighbors and our friends and the people we work with, but it's okay to judge, what Trump's really thinking or the way that he acts. And you can say he brings it on himself. Yes. But again, as compassionate human beings, aren't we supposed to give grace to people and say, okay, well, that stems from a childhood, traumatic, event, and let's give them some grace and let's understand them. And
if they weren't running the entire country, which then runs this entire world, I'd say absolutely. Do we need to give him grace? He needs to give us grace. I give you grace. You give me grace. But there isn't a lot of grace going on up there.
Okay, so what about the protests that are going on, the Democrats who are protesting and getting people to protest and call their congressmen?
Right, at the state capitals?
Yes, or in Washington even. And you saw all the congressmen that are and congresswomen who are just, saying really vile, evil things about Trump and Elon Musk.
It's not acceptable. And people are at their wits' end on both sides, I think. I think there are certain people that are like, stop. Just stop. And you and I are trying to do that. We're trying to have a conversation and to humanize this. Yeah. But I think a lot of people on both sides feel helpless. Powerless.
Well, and I think that's something that Chuck Schumer even said yesterday. There's nothing we can do about it. Like, this is the reality. He won the election. We, as in Republicans, have the Senate, and we've got the House, and we've got the presidency. We can put up a fight, which they did on some of the nominees. But when it comes down to it, this is the reality.
It's certainly the reality for the next 2 years. I think it's important. We are in a country of free speech, and we can go and protest. And I think for people that are feeling powerless and helpless, going to a protest together to be with people that feel that with them, I think is healthy. I think people are feeling so alone and so isolated, and they don't know what to do. And I think it's a great first step. But then what else would you like to do to change it? Whether it be run for city council or back someone that you believe in to get in the next 2 years. This isn't permanent, hopefully, that we're still in a democracy. I think the communing is healthy. I think the vileness, not so much. On either side, I would agree with you. It's ugly. I can only speak for myself. I'm so tired of it. And we as Democrats, we have to rethink the party, revamp how we talk to each other, revamp how we talk about you guys, revamp about what's important. We are human beings, but okay, we're Americans. And let's remember that every time we are in conversation with someone that might have different views than we do.
You and I have talked about this a million times before. It's like it was Newt Gingrich when he was elected the Speaker of the House. Let's start with the things that we agree on, because we probably agree on 80% of the things. Let's start with fixing and working through the things that we agree on need to be fixed. And I think that's the same could be said right now for this DOGE program. Is, there's a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse. That's the term that keeps coming out of this. Let's take a look at all the things that we can agree are waste, fraud, and abuse. What are the things that are considered waste, fraud, and abuse? Is it giving money to Hamas when we thought it was going to Syrian refugees? That's fraud. Is it transgender, programs in Mozambique or Zimbabwe or, somewhere, is that what U.S. tax dollars who are working hard every day need to give their money to? Probably not.
We have to understand as the United States of America how important our role is in keeping world peace and keeping the world healthy. And in terms of us, I guess, being the most powerful country in the world and not letting Russia or China take over aid programs and do whatever would be at a disadvantage for us as a country. I'm imagining that these organizations are massive and that there are going to be list items that you and I will disagree on. But I think what Elon Musk is doing with DOGE right now, what keeps coming up in my brain is, didn't he say that he was going to have full transparency, and he's had no transparency? He's just cutting everything.
Okay, to say that he's cutting, I feel like he's going in there and saying, let's stop the fire hydrant, of all the spending, and let's take a look. Because he hasn't stopped everything. There are still funding programs that are directly benefiting the end user. Nutritional programs in Africa.
What I'm suggesting is that if you just slash everything, the system's going to completely fall apart. One thing that I thought was interesting, just in terms of numbers, that cutting USAID is less than 1% of the federal government.
I am so glad you brought this up. Okay,
yes,
go on.
They showed these graphics where the United States provides the most aid to the world, which I found fascinating, and yet it's only 1% of our federal government, right? So that's where I don't want us to go into this isolationist. I don't think that's healthy, not in this global world we're in anymore. We can't. there was something I heard the USAID, when they give packages of food or whatever, it has the American flag on it, on every piece. And that there is a message of you're helping me.
Yep.
Which is
100%.
So powerful and so important. And then Musk said he called it evil and a woke agency. Clearly, we liberals really pissed you guys off. I mean, that's what I have to say on that, which goes to the Stephanie Holmes piece. Stephanie Holmes is the new HR director of DOGE. And she created a company called Brighter Side HR. And it is the counter to the progressive ideology in corporate America. She calls her training program a non-woke version.
I mean, do you get what the whole anti-woke thing is?
I absolutely,
for us?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And if there's any positivity that's coming out of that situation, which is where the HR piece with DOGE, is that those who really believe in it and will create a true culture are going to flourish from it, versus Silicon Valley, that the bottom line is money. And that was like the it trend. They're like, whew, don't have to deal with that. Then I guess you don't deal with that.
Okay, so let's go back to, you had said something about the waste, fraud, and abuse in USAID. You had said that there are programs that you would agree that we need to take a look at. But I will say that the USAID, I've seen a couple of interviews now where it has been known to be a fraudulent program. No, I shouldn't say a fraudulent program. That there's been fraud within that program that people have been fighting against for years. So it was not a well-kept secret in Washington that the USAID program, that was going to be something that was going to be, primary and first and foremost up front. This is one of those things that we're gonna go in and take a look at. But your point was it's only 1% of our U.S. budget. So here's where I think, speaking of the muzzle
velocity.
I want to say muzzle toff. Nope, muzzle velocity.
You mean mazel tov?
Yeah, that's different, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
That this muzzle velocity, because if we really want to do something about our debt, it's not the 1% of USAID, right?
Thank you.
And so I'm afraid to say that, like, we need to brace ourselves, because shit's going to get real bad, I think. And I think we had dinner with friends the other night, and he said, listen, the number one, in fact, I even made notes on this, from the Treasury.
Are they both conservative, your friends?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. But they are conservative. However, their point was, this is all well and good, but, if you really want to do something about our national debt, let's take a look at where we're spending our money, because our largest expenditure, 21%, is Social Security. We've got to have the guts to tackle our Social Security problem. I mean, it is a problem. My accountant said this a couple years ago.
Isn't the military spending the most?
Nope. So Social Security is 21%. This is from the treasury.gov. National defense is 15%.
Really?
They've got health as 14%. To really understand these, you'd have to dig into it. Right. National interest on our debt is 13%, because our freaking debt is so high. 13%.
So high.
We are paying in our debt. And then Medicare is 13%. So I don't know if health at number 3 is 14% and what Medicare is on 13%. Is health, is that?
Because Medicare is health too.
I don't know. Is health, is that just Obamacare? And then you've got, income security, which I don't understand what that is, at 9%. Veterans benefits, 6%. Education and social services, 3%. Natural resources and environmental causes, 2%. Transportation, 2%. Other, 2%. So the point being, if you really want to make an impact in our $36 gazillion debt, we're going to have to tackle Social Security. And so I think this is a fun little conversation we're having about DOGE and USAID. I think shit's going to get real pretty quickly if they really want to do something about it.
That being said, do you think this is performative at the expense of people's livelihoods? Because it's only 1%, but it's a global impact. It's a global impact. It's affecting, take the transgender thing off the table. But if we're looking at HIV programs in different parts of the world and making sure that like viruses, that's a big deal, that we stay as healthy and help our neighbors. And I'm with you that there's so much going on in this country that we're not dealing with. The poverty, the hunger. What about our kids?
Right. And so I love that and again, as a Christian, I love that we've got a Peace Corps that is helping, HIV in Africa or, all of the different things. You're right. And I hope we never get away from that, because we do have an obligation as a world leader to continue to support those countries that can't help themselves. And so you could then go into, should that be the government's role though? Or is that work we do through private entities? Because I would venture to guess there are as many church organizations and private organizations that are helping, with programming as well that isn't taxpayer funded. So I think we'll agree on that those are things that we need to continue, because it makes our world a better place.
And it makes our world a safer place. And I think that is a government responsibility.
Yep. Because like you said, you create a vacuum by cutting off that aid. Oof. That's the entry point for China and Middle East terrorists and Russia to go in and say,
Absolutely.
"Oh, we'll help you." So
and it's also an entry point for when people are hungry and scared and poor. At times they can become desperate, or they become very vulnerable to people to manipulate.
Yep. Yeah.
Then you're creating another enemy. And then we just look like dicks.
Yeah.
I'm not in disagreement that there's got to be a lot of corruption and fraud. We're an incredibly rich country. We don't take care of our people. Certain people are big fat cats and other people have nothing.
So if we're giving $20 million to help, fund an AIDS program in Africa, but only 10 million, it's like a whole Haiti. Like, you give any money to Haiti, the Haitian government is completely run by thugs. There is no way that money is going to help the people who need it.
But you're not concerned that he's overstepping left and right and breaking rules left and right?
Yes, I am concerned. I am concerned about that.
I would think that you would be.
But again, I just feel like we need a disruptor, and maybe he is a bull in a china shop right now, but at least we're making some change,
Well, and that's what you all voted for.
Right. And so I'm hoping that we have a really good court system that's set up and smart lawyers like your beloved Josh that can say, okay, wait a second. No, and now you've overstepped your boundaries. You can't do that.
But the legal system, we can talk to him at some point, is totally broken and slow. And then people that are disruptors, they bank on that so that they can get as much done without any oversight, or see things without any oversight.
But in the meantime, we just got this drip of money that we are just shelling out left and right to things that are corrupt and not good. And I think, would we both agree that I'm not sure that there is a right way to do this?
I actually am down with things need to be changed and some shakeup is good. I want them to follow the law and be transparent and not, go in like bullies. That to me is not the way to do it. But that's the way he does it. And that's why Trump has him doing it. That's what he wants. And again, he won. Elon didn't win, but Elon paid for him to win. Elon gave him so much money. There was really no way. We've talked about it. We as liberals and Democrats, we have to get real about who we are and what we want, and look at what the entire country wants, and figure out how to stay true to ourselves and create a message that include more people. And we're not there yet. Everyone is just basically like getting up from their gut punch. What surprised you about what I said today?
that you listened to a Steve Bannon interview.
Oh my God, it wasn't easy.
And I was just going to say, I'm not so sure I could listen to Steve Bannon.
He's a rough one.
No, I think the thing that we've landed on here is that we both agree that there's got to be change. It's just, I think you feel like we're being bullies going in there, and I'm saying he's a disruptor, and maybe there's a better way to go about it, but I don't think we're going to know that for another couple of years.
Oh, we're definitely not, and they're banking on that too, because so that they can, get their shit done or whatever.
Yep. So if you're new to this podcast, we end every conversation with the Would You Rather game. So I give Nicole a would you rather, and she gives me a would you rather, and you have to pick one. You can't not answer.
You can't get at it.
You have to pick one.
Are you going to go first, or am I?
Yes, because it's so good.
You're going to go first?
I'm so
or
excited.
Go last?
Yeah. No, I want to go first. Are you ready?
Go. Yes, I'm ready.
Would you rather listen to Donald Trump read War and Peace, or listen to Elon Musk sing America the Beautiful on repeat for 24 hours straight?
Oh my God. You thought of this by yourself?
Yes.
You are a champion would you rather person. Wait, they're both 24 hours?
24 hours straight, yep. For 24 hours straight, you either have to listen to Donald Trump read War and Peace, or you have to listen to Elon Musk sing America the Beautiful on repeat.
Oh my God. I researched would you rather things. I have like 300. None of them are this good. All right. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I have a reason. Oh my God. I am choosing Donald Trump reading War and Peace. Why? Why, you ask? Because he has such a beautiful voice that I really want to hear those melodic tones? No. Because I've never read War and Peace. It's long, so it will be, he'll maybe get through it maybe once, maybe start it a second time, I'm not quite sure. Elon singing, okay, it's annoying when any song gets stuck in your head. I can't.
Oh my God, that is so good.
So Donnie, get ready. Get your reading chops
going. If he's going to do like an audible, that he's going to, you just watch him do a speech. Like he can't stick to the teleprompter.
It's going to be
he's going to start
a treasure chest.
You know what? That was really good that they did that, because you know what? And so
maybe I'll learn things.
It's going to be an editorial.
Yes. Or I can learn things to talk about on the pod.
Oh, God, that is good. Okay.
War and Peace.
Okay.
Oh, my God, that was so good. Okay, now I'm going to give my boring one. Hold on a second. Okay. Would you rather have telekinesis, the ability to move things with your mind, or telepathy, the ability to read minds?
Oh, God, I would not want to read minds.
Right?
Not at all. Oh, God, that would be a horrible, horrible thing.
Okay, I'm going to redo this. I'm going to redo this. Would you rather have the
You can't even get it out.
Would you rather have the ability to have telekinesis over Elon Musk, or telepathy to read Donald Trump's mind? Go.
Oh, God.
Doesn't that change
so
it
telekinesis. Okay, yeah, see, that is
there.
Good.
You go.
Oh, wait, telekinesis is the ability to move things with your mind. So you could
physically move Elon Musk, or you could read Donald Trump's mind.
Oh, I totally want to read Donald Trump's mind.
Right?
Wouldn't you?
That changed it. Of course.
Absolutely. Like when he says stuff, is he really going, it's a bunch of shit. I don't believe that at all.
Like, I want to know about the conversation or the press conference when he talked about Gaza being the Riviera, the Middle East Riviera.
The Middle East, right?
And Netanyahu's face. I wanted telepathy with both of their minds. You wanted that caption, right? Like, there's the cartoon, like the little...
Like the bubble.
And Bibi's going, oh, fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? And Donald Trump's going, oh my God, this is the most amazing idea. Why didn't I think of this sooner? I can't wait to start putting my golden Trump name all over everything.
That golf course is going to be fantastic. Wonder what the wind speeds are coming off of the Jordan.
Oy, oy, oy. Those poor people. All right,
this was
friend.
fun.
Yeah, another episode of We've Got to Talk, right?
Another one in the books. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for listening, and we really do appreciate you if you're in this for the long haul. Keep on listening, share with your friends. Don't be afraid. Let's play on this playground together.